There is a blind spot in the global gaze, a silence in the room where suffering speaks. A missing SDG not lost in bureaucracy, but buried beneath our metrics. It has no line item, no headline, no vote in Parliament, but it's everywhere. And it's breaking everything. We call it emotional infrastructure, the invisible architecture holding human life together. And it is collapsing. When roads crack, we call the engineers. When banks fail, we call the economists. But when families implode, when nurses burn out, when teenagers don't want to live, we build another bridge. We fund another app. We hold another summit. But the soul doesn't run on cement or code. It runs on connection. It bleeds when unseen. It bankrupts when ignored. Look around. This world is emotionally bankrupt. Governments are drowning in burnout budgets. Institutions are hemorrhaging empathy. We've built mega-structures for commerce, but no systems for compassion. We've subsidized speed but abandoned stillness. We've globalized markets but localized loneliness. This is the global blind spot, and we must name it. Because what COVID revealed, what conflict confirms, what suicide stats whisper behind every headline is this: you cannot build sustainable development on broken souls. You cannot legislate wholeness. You cannot automate dignity. You cannot download belonging. We've made the Sustainable Development Goals the scaffolding of progress, but forgot the very substance of the human being. Where is the SDG for soul repair? Where is the index for emotional risk? Where is the governance of presence? A nation can be rich and ruptured, efficient and empty, educated and exhausted. You don't see it in GDP, but you feel it in every burnt-out nurse, every orphaned elder, every refugee who can't speak their trauma, every boy who stops dreaming at 12, every girl who stops eating at 15. This is not just sadness. This is systemic soul collapse. And the longer we ignore it, the more our cities become graveyards with Wi-Fi. The more our schools become factories of silent despair. The more our hospitals become hostels for emotional injuries we've refused to name. But what if we reimagined it all? What if emotional infrastructure was recognized as national infrastructure? What if policy frameworks included soul frameworks? What if every system, health, education, housing, migration, began not with outputs but with the outcome of aliveness? Enter Harbour of Mercy, not a charity. A prototype for what mercy looks like as public good. Badolti spa, restrooms for the emotionally weary. Or emotional risk index, data that diagnoses what diagnostics miss. The Manna Hub, food justice not just for the body, but for dignity. A mercy governance, a theory of leadership rooted in presence, not power. We don't run programs. We rebuild emotional nations. We don't just treat symptoms. We design systems that can feel. To governments, this is your mirror. You cannot heal what you refuse to feel. To the United Nations, WHO, OECD, add what's missing. A new SDG soul development goal. A new frontier, not space, but spirit. To the Church, return to arc-level purity. Become partners in soul repair, not power projection. To the world, this is our moment. To build roads that lead home. To raise metrics that measure meaning. To legislate in love and govern in presence. Because the next revolution will not be industrial. It will be emotional. And the nations that ignore this will collapse, quietly, slowly, systemically. So let this be the alarm before the avalanche. Let this be the blueprint for the unseen. Let this be the cry before the collapse. And let Harbour of Mercy be the harbour for what's to come. Because mercy is not charity. It is infrastructure. And the soul is not soft. It is strategic. Now let the healing begin.